This is a great exercise to do to strengthen the foot. It's also a great exercise to do to release the fascia of the foot. It's also one that you want to consider for any type of plantar foot pain. It is going to help get in and release the fascia in all aspects of the foot. So what we're going to do is, with an indoor golf ball, we are going to work all aspects of the foot. The toes, or the neck and shoulder area, the diaphragm line, or the chest, breast, and lung zone, the digestive zone, or in between the diaphragm and the waistline, and the lower pelvic area in through the intestines and the glute muscles between the waistline and the pelvic line, and then in through the pelvis area, which is going to help us with areas of relation to the hip and low back. So what we are going to do is we are going to lift our foot directly up in the air. We're not going to leave our foot down below, but we're going to bring our foot up in the air, having it go, pressing it straight down. We are going to flatten it, and then we are going to work to push it to either side of the foot. So now we've pushed down vertically. We are moving the ball around in a horizontal fashion. Okay? All while compressing the ball down. Then we lift our foot up. We go to the next zone and we do the same thing. So we roll around in the different areas, making sure that we keep compressed down the whole time. Okay? And make sure you get a good compression into lots of these different areas. Then we're going to move down to underneath the diaphragm and waistline and push down. This is where it can start to get a little bit more juicy. And now we're going to roll again, nice and underneath all of these different zones. Okay, making sure that we get good compression into each of them. And you'll see as you compress that it gets into those deeper fibers. That's what we're really looking for. When we use a ball that's too firm, it really creates tension around the ball instead of movement with the ball. So this helps to reduce muscle tension and compression in through the entire foot. You would lift up with the entire leg, move it back down into the area of the lower pelvis from waistline to pelvic line. And again, we're going to think about moving it laterally around the foot. Okay? Then compress down and compress down. Move it onto each angles and compress down. Then when we come to the heel, we are also going to do the same thing, making sure that we don't lift the toes like this. We really want to make sure that we have full contact with the heel and the toes are not doing all of the work. Okay, so you would compress into each of those areas and work to rub them around. Then you would repeat on the other foot. If you get into a part of your foot and you find that there's some tenderness, going along the same philosophy of what we talked about, you'll want to leave that ball there until the tenderness starts to subside. Okay, so as you move the ball around, you really want to find those nice and juicy spots, and it's so much easier to get into very particular parts when you have a much softer and smaller ball. So I have found that these indoor golf balls are perfect for this type of exercise.
So any kind of pain, discomfort or any kind of foot discomfort or pain, that's good for.
That's right.
What about numbness?
This would also be good for numbness because remember that there are nerves and blood flow coming on the top and also coming on the bottom. So this would be good for somebody who has lost sensation in their toes. Their toes are always cold, as well as they perhaps have a different sensation in their toes versus the rest of their foot. So we really are looking for that lateral movement and not necessarily the forward and back, although that can feel good too. But the fascia will definitely release faster when you take it on its cross-hatched or against the grain, if you will, into that area and zone.